everyone, and welcome once again to Checkpoint. Today is your host, Pastor Mrs. Ifeoma Eze, and I'm here again to give you something very special and something that will bless your life for good. We want to especially appreciate you for your likes, your comments, your shares, and for all that you do for us here at Checkpoint. Thank you very much for following us on social media. Thank you for always being there. And thank you for always letting others know that what we have on this platform is worth watching and worth listening to. So today on Checkpoint, I'd like to share with you something from my book, All You Need to Succeed in Marriage. This is a book I wrote in 2010. It's already a decade old, but the information and the instructions therein are still very relevant. All right, so today I'd like to take just a chapter of the book, Understanding the Love Languages. Remember, the book is All You Need to Succeed in Marriage. You can get them everywhere on Amazon, online, and on enthronementhub.com. If you have any difficulties, just comment in the video and we'll help you get a copy of this book, soft copies or hard copies, whichever one you really desire. All right, so today I'd like to share with us the title, Understanding the Love Languages in Marriage. Understanding the Love Languages in Marriage. Have you ever heard people say, couples especially say, he doesn't love me anymore? And then you hear the wife, the husband complaining to, she doesn't care for me the way she used to. She doesn't love me like she used to. And then you see these things happen time and time again and you wonder, what has happened? And in some cases, it could be several other things, but in most cases, it could be that they are beginning to speak different love languages, or they didn't even understand that this was a love language in the first place, or it could also mean that they used to speak that particular love language, but after a time, they stopped speaking that love language. So if I may ask, what are love languages? I would say that love languages are simply the emotional language, the emotional ways through which couples share their love, or the ways through which couples speak love to each other. I think that covers it more. Love languages are the ways through which couples speak love and communicate love to each other. So in essence, it may not really be something that has to do with speaking. It may not be verbal in the sense, it may be verbal, it may be non-verbal, but whichever way it is, these are the ways through which couples communicate love one to another. All right, and then according to Gary Smalley, who helped us classify these love languages, we have 5 basic love languages. 5 basic love languages. The first love language is called words of affirmation. The second love language is called quality time. The third love language is called gifts. And the fourth love language is called acts of service. And the fifth love language is called physical touch. We're going to take these love languages one after the other. I like you to stay tuned. I like you to remain connected with us as we share with you on these love languages. For many people, this love language might be this missing link in your relationship. It may be the missing link in that marriage. It may be the missing link in the marriage relationship, and that is why it is suffering. So today, I'd like to share with you one after the other on these 5 love languages. Can you say it together with me? Words of affirmation, yeah. Quality time, correct. Gifts, yeah. Acts of service, and physical touch. So these are the 5 love languages that every married couple should have. Okay, now not every married couple should not have all of them, but these are the 5 love languages that exist in a marital relationship. All right, so it's possible you may have words of affirmation and may not have quality time, and may not have gifts, and may then have acts of service and then physical touch. But whichever way it is, this is simply the language that your spouse understands. So before I go into this, I like to give you a background information. Like me, for example, I may be somebody who actually likes quality time. All right, so if my love language is quality time, and then my husband gets to speak the language of words of affirmation all the time without speaking the particular language that appeals to me, what will happen in my relationship is that there'll be difficulties, there will be challenges and problems, misunderstandings basically, because he is trying to communicate love to me through words of affirmation, while I am expecting him to communicate love to me through quality time. So he will be making all the efforts to make me happy and to make me pleased in the marriage relationship, while I'll be complaining, oh, you're not taking care of me, oh, you're not reaching out to me, oh, you're not loving me like you used to, oh, you don't love me anymore, because I expect my love language to be different and he is giving a different language. Let me give another practical example. What is that? You have no understanding. Why do you not have an understanding? Because you do not understand the language I just spoke. Now, don't bother if it's an actual language or not. But the long and short of it is that many people just spoke what I spoke. They communicate what I just communicated in their marriage relationship. And at the end of the day, their marriages are having problems because they do not understand what I am saying. If I start to speak my dialect, most people from my tribe or from my dialect would likely hear me, and those who are not from my tribe will not hear me. And in that same way, love language is the same thing. Sometimes at the end of the day, we see ourselves actually making efforts to please our spouse, but in the long run, because we are speaking a different language, this person is not feeling loved. So quickly, we'll just take them one after the other. Let's take words of affirmation. Now, words of affirmation are usually the basic love languages. Under this kind of love language, we have dialects. Like every language has its dialect, like I said, my dialect. Now, every language has its dialect, and the dialects that belong to words of affirmation are encouraging words, kind words, humble words. What kind of encouraging words do you know? Keep it up. I believe in you. Yeah, I trust you. Kind words. Thank you so much for all you do to make this family nice, to make this family go on, to make this family strong. Yeah. Humble words. Thank you, please, I'm sorry, and the likes. All right. So it's important that we understand our spouse's love language. That way, we'll be able to communicate with them effectively. Let me read something from my book. Giving verbal compliments is one way to express words of affirmation to your spouse. Other words apart from the compliments include encouraging words, kind words, and humble words, like we have already said. Most times, this is the major need of one spouse in the marriage. Now, all of us have areas in which we feel insecure, we lack courage, we could have fears, but these words, when they are spoken at the right time, they help us to become better and they encourage us. All right. Now, the way and the manner in which the word is spoken is very important, because words are the tone of the voice takes up a greater percentage than the words which are actually spoken. So when you are saying these encouraging, kind, humble words that are all part of the words of affirmation, please, the tone in which you say it matters a lot. Don't say like you are forced to say it. Don't say like you're being pushed to say it. Say it from a heart that is willing, that a heart that is willing to communicate and to show love. All right. According to Gary Chapman, if you're not a man or woman of words, and if it is not your primary love language, but you think that it may be the love language of your spouse, he said you should suggest that you keep a notebook that is titled Words of Affirmation. There, you put down a record of the words that you've spoken already, the ones that made your spouse look happy or look satisfied or grateful, and then you keep working on it until they become a bigger part of you. All right, let's quickly talk about the second love language, called quality time. Now, quality time is one of the 5 major love languages that every spouse that can be the major need of your spouse. All right, it could be the missing link in your marriage, and if it is needed by your spouse and you are not working towards providing this love language for him or her, it will make your spouse to feel loved. All right. By quality time, we actually mean undivided attention. So let me give an example. You are saying, oh, I'm having a quality time with my husband or with my wife, and then you're pressing your phone and reading all the current news and all the controversy theories everywhere. When you're doing that, you are not giving him or her quality time. Quality time means undivided attention while being together. Can we take that together? Quality time means undivided attention while being together. So you can't say you're giving quality time when you are away, or when you are in a distance, or when you are traveled. Quality time means that you are together with the person and you are giving the person undivided attention. So you're not on Facebook, you're not on Z World, you're not watching a movie and you're saying you're giving quality time. All right. Now, it's very common for you to see couples who want to have quality time walk into a restaurant and then they are busy doing different things. The other ones are taking care of the kids, the other ones are pressing the phone, the other ones are being distracted with the food, the menu, and stuff like that. If it is quality time, you really have to give what? Undivided attention. So that's it for quality time. Under quality time, we have quality conversation, because you might be present with somebody, you might have undivided attention, and then you are saying nothing. So that's terrible. Like, if you are there with this person who you call your spouse, your husband, or your wife, and they're giving quality time, you should also know how to give quality conversation. Engage the person meaningfully. Don't just say, okay, I am here, I'm doing nothing, and just watching your face. That becomes boring or becomes weird of some sort. So please make sure that if you're giving quality time, you're really giving quality conversation. And what kind of things do you need to do? Maintain eye contact when you're talking with your spouse, and then listen to your spouse, and then paraphrase and get back to the person. Maybe the person says, and I felt bad, and you could say, oh, you really felt bad, what happened? So that you keep the person engaged and you listen for the person's feelings, listen for the person's body language. Sometimes it's first time saying, I'm all right. Meanwhile, every body language is saying, I'm not all right. So it's important that you also listen to the body language while having that quality time. And then try as much as possible to be a good listener. Don't interrupt every time. All right, and then don't change the subject matter, because many people say, oh, I'm spending the quality time, but you love to change the subject matter. So remain on the subject and hear him or hear her out. All right, the third love language we'll be sharing with you today is called giving and receiving of gifts. Now, for some people, the way they feel love is when they give gifts or when they receive gifts. So we need to be careful, if we are married to somebody like that, to know actually what makes the person feel loved. There's a couple that maybe the wife or the husband hasn't bought gift for him or her in a while. Then the person says, oh, I don't feel loved, you don't love me like you used to, because the person's love language is what? Giving of gifts or receiving of gifts. So it's important that we find out what your spouse's love language is, and then we seek ways in which to meet this very, very important need. All right, a gift is something you can hold in your hand. Let me read from the book. A gift is something you can hold in your hand and boldly say, oh, he was thinking of me. Wow, she remembered me. You must be thinking of someone to give somebody a gift. Now, the gift itself is a symbol of that thought. It doesn't matter whether the gift is expensive or cheap. What is important is that he or she thought of you as he or she was getting that gift for you. So it is not the thought implanted. So what is important is that you thought of him or her while getting the gift. So it's not just about the gift or the quality of the gift, but it's about the thoughts that this person had before giving you a gift. For most mothers, we get excited at very little things, like our kids picking up flowers for us, our kids writing a note on a cardboard and then giving it to us like a Mother's Day and stuff like that, and we get happy for no reason at all. Now, it's not just about the quality of the gift, it's about the thought behind the gift that is being given. So for couples in marriages like that, it's also applied. So it's not just about how expensive or how many carats the gold was or how much or the quality of the car that was given. It's about the fact that I was thinking of you when I decided to give this to you. So gifts are visual symbols of love. That's why when we conduct weddings, we use the ring as a symbol. The ring is not love. The quality of the ring is not love. What is the love there is that we have just something to act as a symbol of the love that they are about to receive in marriage. And like we always say, we say that the ring is an outward physical symbol of the love that they both share. And because it has no end, like a round ring, it has no end, their love should have no end. That's basically why we give rings in weddings. So it's not about the quality of the ring or the number of carats upon the stone. What is most important is that that thought is being communicated through a gift. All right. So gifts may be purchased, found, or made. The husband who stops along the roadside and picks a flower for his wife has found himself an expression of love, unless of course the wife is allergic to flowers. In that case, that's not a gift, that's poison. All right. So what is most important is that the gift is given, and that the gift is given as an expression of love. All right, we have the gift of self, we have the gift of materials. Whichever one you're giving, make sure that that gift is something that is worth it. All right, let's talk about the fourth. Let's talk about the fourth love language. The fourth love language is what we call acts of service. And by acts of service, we mean that you are going to do something for that your spouse would like you to do for the person. Okay, so if I don't want you breaking firewood, and you go out there to break firewood in my name, that is not a love language, you see. So if it's a love language when you do something, when your spouse gets to do something that he or she wants you to do. So by acts of service, we simply mean that you're doing the things that you know your spouse would like you to do for him or for her. Now, if I don't want you to break firewood for me, and you go out as my spouse and then you begin to break firewood, by the time you're done with all the sweating and all the hard work, it does not communicate love to me, because I don't care about the firewood. I don't need the firewood. You are doing all of that hard work, and it's not for me because I don't care about it. Now, it is only love when you do something I would really want you to do. Maybe you help me pack my hair, you help me or pack or lose the hair, depending on what I want at that moment, or you help me get food, breakfast in bed and stuff like that. These are acts of service, but they do communicate love. Or help me wash the car, help me throw away the garbage, or stuff like that. For different people, the acts of service required are equally different. Or help me hold the kids while I sleep. My husband does that a lot, especially when I'm overwhelmed and tired and stressed out. He just makes sure the kids don't come to disturb me, so I can really get to sleep. And that's, for me, it's a communication of love. So that is how the love language for acts of service works. Most spouses, especially female spouses, interpret acts of service as love. These acts of service are often translated as "he loves me. Because he did that, he was thinking of me. Because he did that, he really cares about my welfare. He cares about my health. Because he did that, he lifted off the weight off my shoulder." The same way it goes for the males, that's how it goes for the females. So it's important that we know that this is another love language, and know how to make it work. So if you're out there and you're asking, how do I work on the acts of service, find out what your spouse likes, and then go ahead to do it for him or her. You can decide to do once a week, twice a week, as much time. There is no limit to how much you can express love. All right. Now the final one and the last one is what we call physical touch. In physical touch, it has always been known as a way of communicating emotional love, especially between spouses. All right, numerous research projects in the area of child development have this conclusion. And what's the conclusion? That babies who are held, hugged, kissed develop a healthier emotional life than those who are left for long periods of time without physical touch. So babies that are held, hugged, kissed often, they develop a healthier emotional life than those who are left alone for long periods of time without physical contact. Physical touch is also a powerful vehicle for communicating marital love. Holding of hands, kissing, embracing, and sexual intercourse are all ways of communicating emotional love to one's spouse. In marriage, the touch of love may take many forms, since touch receptors are located throughout the whole body. So lovingly touching your spouse almost anywhere can be an expression of love. Sometimes it doesn't have to be necessarily erotic or sexual in the sense. It could just be a tap on the back. It could just be a hug. It could just be a rub on the head, a pat on the back, whatever it could, whatever way you decide to communicate, one thing is sure: physical touch for some is a major love language. And if you want to really communicate that language to your spouse, you have to do it, and do it right, and do it when necessary. All right, because the timing is also everything. Once you discover that physical touch is the primary love language of your spouse, you are limited only by your imagination on ways to express love to him or to her. All right, so in crisis, let's talk about crisis and physical touch. Almost instinctively, in a time of crisis, we hug one another. People who do not even know themselves tend to hug one another in the time of crisis. Why is that so? Because we need to know this, that physical touch is a powerful communicator of love. In time of crisis, more than anything, you see people rescue people who are being rescued, stuff like that. You see everyone giving a hug. That hug is not necessarily erotic in the sense, it's just that person's own way of saying, thank you for saving me, thank you for being here for me, thank you for doing this for me. See, all marriages will at one time or the other experience crisis. The death of parents is inevitable. Automobile accidents could cripple people, and they cripple thousands of people every year. Disease is no respecter of persons. Disappointments may occur in life. The most important thing you can do for your mate, for your spouse in a time of crisis, is to love him or her. And then if your spouse's primary love language is physical touch, there is nothing that is more important than holding her or holding him as he cries, as he weeps, as he's in sorrow or pain. You may think that these things are so little, but they go a long way in speaking so much. Your words may mean little for somebody whose love language is physical touch, but you'll be surprised you'll be doing a lot for such a person by just holding the person. Your tender touches will be remembered long after the crisis has passed. So my question for you today is this: what is your love language? Have you been able to discover your love language? If you're married, think about it. What's your husband's love language, and what's your own love language? And if you now know it, please go ahead to communicate to your spouse. I love it more when you tell me words of affirmation, kind, humble, and encouraging words. Or I love it more when you spend time, physical time with me, and then you have undivided attention and full concentration, and we're together. Or I love it more when you give me gifts, and when you receive gifts from me. Or you could say, I love it more when you are able to give me acts of service. You physically help me do stuff, physically help me to relieve my stress, to lift up the weight off my shoulder, and to make me feel like you truly love me by helping me do something that's supposed to take stress from, give me stress. Or I love it when you touch me, pat me on my back, or hold me on my shoulder, or give me a hug, or give me a peck on the cheek, or just give me a warm embrace and tell me that everything is going to be all right. So, what is your love language? And if you're watching this video right now, I'd like you to write in the comment section what your love language is and what you think your husband's or wife's love language is, and then let us share with them. Let them know that this is how you communicate love to me, because it's important, and many couples miss this. And because they miss this, they have a lot of problems in relationships. You hear them say, oh, he doesn't love me anymore, she doesn't love me anymore, we're having this challenge or that challenge. This is simply because you do not understand your love language. And if you understand your love language, it will be easy to speak that language. And when you speak the language that he understands, or when you speak the language that she understands, what do you think will happen in your relationship? There'll be more bliss, more love, more understanding, more tolerance, because both of you are able to understand yourself at every given time. So this is the few things I decided to share with you today. If you're not married yet, it's important that you know what your love language is. It will help you to discover who also loves you and who will not struggle to speak your love language. Because if you are someone whose love language may be kind words, like words of affirmation, and then you marry somebody who is always raw with words, who does not season his or her words before they speak, you have a lot of issues, because words matter to you. So find out what your love language is and make sure you marry properly. And if you're already married, find out what your love language is and make sure you communicate it properly to your spouse. And then I guarantee that you're going to have a very beautiful and lovely marriage filled with communication, tolerance, and understanding. Thanks for watching me today. Cheers.